we're gonna have 45 minutes. That's awesome. Thanks so much for having me, and I am so grateful to be here. I left, well, I'll tell you my story in a little bit, but actually I have 15 minutes now. And damn, darn. I left on Wednesday morning, and I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was just like, I really don't want to go. I felt I didn't want to get on the plane, I didn't want to be here. But when you're here, and you're surrounded by this group and this energy and the people, and you hear the stories, and yesterday the stories of all the Member of the Year stories were just so inspirational, and it really helps me so much. It helps all of us to be here. So good on you guys for being here, and thank you so much for sharing your stories, for having that connection. Today I want to talk about, if you don't know where you want to go, it doesn't matter which path you take. And my story of kind of getting lost and getting found again. But you can't really call it being lost because I didn't really know where I was going. So you can't really be lost because it doesn't matter where you're going. When I tell my story, I actually got the opportunity to be here, and then I wanted to back down because I don't feel right now like I am the success story. I don't feel like I've made it. I feel maybe next year I could be here and show that I've made it, because the last few months have been really challenging for me. For the first time in a long time, I haven't wanted to get out of bed in the morning because I didn't want to face the day, and that's really unusual for me. I've just had a lot of emotional, mental turmoil, and I've done a lot of work, a lot like that personal growth work to get yourself out of it. And honestly, all of us, when we're here, we have to, and it's a perspective shift, but remember that like what we're dealing with still is first world problems. Like we are so freaking lucky to be here and to be having the problems of how am I gonna get my next clients, or what if people don't renew? Like seriously, like I think just having that perspective shift is so important. I can go through my early years. I was actually up for Member of the Year 4 years ago in 2013. I joined NPE in 2011, so I've been with them for a while. 2007, I opened my own business, Ascend Fitness. I was a solopreneur, worked the long hours. You guys know what that's like. Found NPE in 2011, jumped right in with the accelerator program, didn't take any action on it. So I signed up for VIP to get that extra coaching and accountability, which was awesome. 2012, I opened my own studio. Hired my first employees, grew the business that way. 2013, really got the systems in place through NPE, and was able to go away for our first family vacation for 2 weeks to Maui and let the business run without me. That was a huge success. Made lots of money in 2014, and that's where I'm going to leave off for today in my story. So this is my revenue, my gross revenue up until 2014. All that is, gotta say, is NPE. Like before that, I didn't know what I was making, but I was making a lot. NPE really helped me go up there. It was with the VIP program and then VIP Pro. But then the challenges came in. So number one challenge I faced after 2014, I finished 2014, made more money than I ever thought was possible, which was really cool. But then this thing called fear set in, and it wasn't fear of, it wasn't excitement for the next year. It was like, holy shit, how am I gonna do this again? And so what did I do is I stopped trying. I checked out of the business because if you fail, but you never actually tried, it's not nearly as bad as if you try and you fail, right? So why not just like check out and stop trying? Another really big problem that was surfacing for a couple years is I had this little staffing issue that I created, let's call it that, with this awesome employee that I was paying a little bit too much, to say a lot, okay? And you create these problems and you commit to something that, when you're in the early parts of your business, and you think that you can't change it. You think that, okay, I've said that I'm gonna pay him this much, and it just accumulates, and all of a sudden you've created this beast. And to me, that was really scary, and for years it kept surfacing as this problem, this issue, but then I just pretended it was an issue, and I justified myself out of it. So that was a big one. And that all really led to me falling out of love with my business. And this is where, when you think about relationships, like think about your marriage, or you sign up for better and for worse, and you think for worse is going to be when your spouse has a sickness and you're at the hospital, for weeks, and you're like helping them get better, and you're you're just like, you're sacrificing some personal time and your career, and you're really helping that spouse, and that's great. But the real challenge happens is when you stop caring about your spouse, when you stop loving them, when you stop really caring or wanting to be with them. And same with the business. Like, we think as entrepreneurs, like, business is going to be challenging. I'm going to work up long hours at night. I'm going to get up in the morning, and I'm going to just persevere, and I'm going to have some challenges along the road. And we do. But when we stop caring about our business, when we stop loving it, when we want to just give it up, that's a really big challenge, because that's when our mindset changes. And that was a real big one for me. And honestly, I'm not going to paint this picture like it's all hunky-dory right now, because it's not. I have lots of days right now where I'm like, I just want to get rid of it. Oh, I forgot that slide was there. Yeah, I was up on stage in 2015. Oh yeah, so this was 2015. I came here, and then I just checked out. I did lots of amazing travel in 2015. This is my husband and I in Slovenia. They have like guest houses at the top of hikes, which is super awesome. I went to Kauai, I think that was. Jacob and I did a little trip in California together. I traveled lots, checked out of my business, had an amazing, amazing time. Don't regret it for a second, but that was my 2015, and this is what it looks like. So linearly, this is my story. This is what 2015 looked like in gross revenue, but remember that staff member I was paying a little bit too much. This is what net profit looks like. And when this happens in your business, when we're used to seeing linear growth, and all of a sudden things go, it makes you really want to get rid of your business a lot and do something else, right? Start fresh to something else. So the turning point actually happened in February in 2016, and this lovely lady who's not here right now, I found this picture on Facebook, is Kim. And the cool thing about this NP community is I've been here for a long time, and you develop some really, really, really awesome friendships and people who really support you along the way, because the journey in entrepreneurship can be very lonely. When you go home, you have people you can talk to, but not the same people. Like, these are our people here. And develop strong relationships with these people, because these are people who are going to support you, who are going to help you grow. And Kim, I had known Kim for a while. Kim and Juan joined about the same time I did. And she said, this person, a staff member, she's like, this is a bit of an issue. She's like, you've been talking about this for a while. And right then Sean stepped in, and we made it a plan, and I realized how important it was for me to put my big girl clothes on and make some hard decisions. But actually, it's not that hard when your why is really strong. When you realize if you don't do those hard steps, your business is just going to tank. And when that why is really strong, the how is not really a big issue. So I had those difficult conversations. That same Monday, actually, I flew home and decided we were going to change our salary model or our pay structure. And it was a really big, because this is someone I really cared about, someone I trusted, someone who put a lot of his own work and energy and thought into the business. He cared about the business. So it's really hard to do that to somebody. But it needed to be done. So felt proud of that. The next step of my plan was to jump up to the right room. So in 2015, I joined VIP Pro, which was, it wasn't the right place for me at that time. I should have been probably in the Platinum group then, but I just jumped into VIP Pro, and it was good. There was a learning curve, and I think NP has done such a tremendous growth in the last 2 years, 3 years, of really supporting the entrepreneurs who are now going into the next level, like those 5 and 6 business stages, which I love. And this has been awesome. Jumping up into this room has been such a game changer for me. I wasn't really sure where to put this, but I just want to highlight some of the people along the way as part of my plan and my support network. Tiffany, my husband, my office manager, Sean, Christine, Kevin's been a huge inspiration for me, Juan, Jack, Kim. I'll have 6, but just a huge thank you for those people who have really helped me along the way. Getting clear on my vision was big. We talk about in NP all the time, your vision. And when you know where you're going, you can lead your team to get there. And that's something I never actually ever had. because I grew with NPE just because I didn't really know what I was doing. I just took the next step and took the next step, and then things just grew. But now that we're clear on where we want to go, it's actually a whole new problem, because I'm like, how the heck am I going to get there? Well, that's what the coaching is for. But having that vision has been a huge, huge game changer, so you can lead your team and you guys can work together. Another part of the plan right now is rebranding, and this has been helping me fall back in love with my business as well. Just changing from a little bit of a logo shift, which is kind of fun to see the physical changes, but it's really shifting from being the fitness place to being really an all-inclusive health, wellness, personalized coaching with nutrition, lifestyle management, that sort of thing as well. Getting my team on board. Last year I put everyone on a salary position, so now I don't have any session by session employees. Everyone's on salary, which has been a huge game changer in our business as well. I'm sure I want to say more, but I thought there were supposed to be my presentation notes up there too, so I don't get them. So I'm sure I had some other things I wanted to say. That's Christine on our trip too. And I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm going to put a picture of you. But she's always my inspiration for personal growth, but really taking care of herself. So I told you that. Let's move on. She's my inspiration for personal growth. Getting myself back into the education has been a big part as well. I think sometimes we get so caught up with, I got so caught up with the business coaching side of things, which has been awesome. I forgot about my own education on coaching clients and falling in love with the healthcare. And this is taking my nutritional therapy practitioner course right now, which has really been exciting. And this is what it looks like. So gross revenue, had a little dip, fell back in love with my business, started to clarify my vision, and things are going up again, which is really, really awesome. And then net profit looks like that, which is pretty cool too once you get your systems in place. The results, some days I love Ascend, others I don't. But I think it's okay. I think sometimes you look at the the people up on stage and you think they have it all together, and I definitely don't. And there's lots of days where I still would like not to have my business, but for the most part, I do. Enjoying the journey is one of our core values, and just starting to remind myself on how important that is, because this should be fun. And Jessica and Chris said it really well. We all have these ups and downs, but this could be an exciting journey. It could be kind of something that we want to do out of fun and excitement and not out of drudgery. There's my team. We're doing our planning meeting, which is pretty cool. I put this picture up actually. I think I was supposed to send that one before. This is actually 2009 and 2015. And in the first picture, we're both at the Captain Cook Memorial in Kalakakao Bay in Kona. And the first picture was kind of before I started my business really. And I just look at my posture there, and I think about how smaller I was at that point, how I stood just with my shoulders forward. I was also pregnant at the time, and then when you do these challenges and you grow, you grow as a person, and you become more confident, and you become more assured of yourself. And I think it's just a really cool process of how business and how the business growth changes you as a person. And I'm still married to the same guy, which is pretty cool. What's next in the business? Through the growth of the business, we created a lot of really big holes. So working on that right now, having to change our policies. Actually, Kim and Juan and Christine and I think we're all doing very similar things, but realizing that you sort of create monsters and you have lots of things that you need to fix. We're going back to more of a simple, this is one of the leadership models through NPE, which is really, really helpful, going from simplistic to complex back to simple. That's a big one for us right now. Going through the rebrand, making more of the lifestyle performance model at Ascend, which has been really, really awesome and exciting. And a really cool thing that just happened actually in 2 days officially, I purchased my first commercial real estate, which is really awesome. The bank wants to loan me, thank you. So I'm going to be moving Ascend Fitness in a couple months. The bank wants to lend me $1 million, which is kind of cool. So I'll go with that. And then my big takeaways, I think the 2 lessons I really learned over the last couple of years is to really own it, own your value, own your business. You know, you are in charge, you are the CEO of your business, you have the power to make the decisions that need to be made. Sometimes they're hard decisions, but just because you said something or you did something a couple of years ago when you didn't really have the systems and the tools doesn't mean you have to stick with that the whole time. You can change. This is your business. And the other one I think was really important is, and this is a theme actually for the last couple days here, is people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Really getting in touch and remembering why you got into this in the first place. And I guarantee at some point it goes beyond yourself and it goes back to your community that you live in, the clients that you serve. As simple as it is, sometimes we forget that when you get too far away from being in the business, like why we actually started health and wellness businesses in the first place. Our families, our team is a big one. And I think just getting always reconnecting with your purpose and really understanding that emotion of why you're doing what you're doing is so, so important. So that's all I have for you guys. I want to thank you again for supporting me along this journey. I think it's so fantastic to be a part of NPE and in a room of people who get it and who can really inspire me. So thank you.